Lydia.
Hello.
Hey, Britt.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies.
Your hair is so cute.
Oh, thanks. After exercise hair.
I just rolled out of CrossFit. That's why it's like I've got the red face. Well, that was like 30 minutes ago, and I'm still like bright red from working out, but it's all good.
You know what? Sometimes it's hit or miss because I'm like, after workout hair can sometimes be a little tricky, but sometimes it's great. A little dirt, you know. TMI. Sorry, ladies.
Uh-uh.
I agree. It helps with the volume.
Right?
Yep.
Otherwise, it just, for me, I'm just like, it will lay really flat, but a little bit of grit in there and it helps it
hmm
with volume. Good call, Lydia.
I hope everyone got the memo about the 2 p.m. call.
Hmm.
It happens. So
Yeah.
we can go ahead and just go ahead and get started. And as people roll in, they roll in. And if not, then we have this recording. So,
Perfect.
all right. Well, this is my friend Britt. Guys, we have her in as our mentor today. She is in year 2 for Apogee Woman. So she's very aware of how Apogee works, and she's going to be opening an affiliate. Britt, tell us a little bit about yourself and your adventures in Portugal.
Oh, yes. So that's my favorite fact about our family right now is we haven't been home in 8 months, which is a crazy thing, but it's been quite the adventure. So we've been traveling through Portugal, and we're about to go back through Spain for our third time. It's been a lot of fun. It's my first time in another country. Very fun, very enlightening
I don't
experience.
I don't know if it's your AirPods that's making your audio is like really distorted. Is that just for me or is that
Oh,
for
really?
I'm hearing it too.
Is it
That's
for
all
you
I'm
guys
hearing.
too? Let me, sometimes that happens, and I'll just take them out.
okay. Can't hear you at all now.
Oopsie. Hmm.
Now
I
we
don't
got you.
know.
We got you now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Phew. I'm like, I am not the 10-year-old.
I know.
I don't know how to handle this one.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Um, okay, good. So sorry about the audio issue. Sometimes that's hit or miss with those buds, but I think you probably got the gist. We're traveling through Europe. Most of our time has been spent in the sunny southern coast, which is beautiful and rocky and sunny and lovely. It's been a ton of fun.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all are coming. When are you coming home?
Mid-July.
Okay. So, and I would have to say, with all the travel that we did from the past year and a half, it was quite the adventure. There's aspects of it that I miss. And I'm very happy to be just stationary and have all my things back. And, not be bouncing around. We were never stationary somewhere. We were bouncing around from state to state. So that was a bit much. And also, I'm hoping that, we recreate that sometime. So.
I'm hoping for the same. It's been an experience and it's been neat to live with less, um, and to see how much we were attached to things. So that's been a really cleansing opportunity for sure.
I think one of the coolest things that I heard you say is that your girls were doing their projects on the beach, and
Yes.
that's their like homeschool. They're doing it on the beach, and I was like, that's pretty epic. I think I could have totally bought into school, because I hated school growing up. Um, and I think I could have definitely bought into beach school.
Me too. I was not a fan of school. I went to a kind of school. We moved to the area where my school was because it was a blue ribbon school, but that meant that you had to undergo a lot of testing for the school to stay blue ribbon. And so when I was in sixth grade, I stopped playing that game really well because I felt like everybody just wanted me to come with the right answer. Um, and I didn't fall for that trick. So I did everything that I could to get out of school. And that's actually why and how I fell in love with Socratic facilitation, which is something we're going to talk about today.
Well, let's go ahead and get started. And like I said, if anybody joins us, I know this is a different time than normal. We did a different time last week too. We met on Friday, which was a different day, and we had a sprinkling of people, so it's all good.
Well, I'm glad you ladies could make it. This, I think, I've been on a couple of mentor calls myself, and normally there's a conversation with Coach Witt and the mentor, but I'm actually going to ask for your participation pretty early. So be excited if you join in. I'm going to give you a little context first, but like I said, I am a big fan of Socratic facilitation because it allows me to exercise my brain. I really, how I was saying, I didn't really love the school I was part of growing up. It's because I always felt like I was being tested. And if I didn't memorize the right things, I felt like I was always going to be wrong. And so I love how Socratic facilitation just gives us the opportunity to share. So I'm going to ask questions and there's not a right or wrong answer. So it's whatever you think. Might ask you for some evidence from your own life, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm going to give you a little bit of context first. So has anybody ever participated in a Socratic conversation before? Gianna, Corey, Lucy? This is your first time? Yeah? Okay, very cool. No worries, Lucy. If you want to jump on, I don't mind seeing you eat. Totally. But I understand if you want to wait, that's fine too. So the first thing that I love to do in Socratic conversation is really focus on whatever you want for rules of engagement to be. So think about this. What is a really powerful conversation that you've had recently? Can you think about it? What's something that made it powerful to you? Was it that the person was making eye contact with you the whole time? Were they listening fully, like not just listening to respond, but actually listening because they were really interested in what you had to say? Or maybe it was something else. Go ahead, Gianna.
I recently had an interview with a very important person from Johnson Johnson, but she has a very long, like a role title, so I don't remember what it was. But
Okay.
things I really found, like, she's a professional, she like wants to listen. A lot of eye contact, and she was serious and she was kind too, like super. When I walked into her office, I was nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, but she was just really nice and just welcomed me, and we had a really good conversation, and it was great.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Oh, what about you, Corey? Can any conversations come to mind and what was powerful about them for you?
No conversations really come to mind because I feel like I don't pay that close attention. I kind of just have a conversation and then I forget about it. But
Okay.
I guess that's a sign that I'm not having enough powerful conversations.
Oh,
But usually when I do have a conversation with someone and I like am left feeling good after, then I notice it's if they're really like paying attention to what I'm saying and like listening really well, and definitely eye contact for sure.
okay.
hmm
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, and kind of like engaging with me. So they prove they're listening to what I'm saying by like asking questions. Because other
Oh,
times people can just be listening, but they won't ask any questions or anything. They'll just kind of be like, yep. Yeah. So then that makes me feel like they're not really listening that well. But yeah.
I see. Okay. Those are great. Okay. So I'm based off of what you both said, I'm designing our rules of engagement for this conversation. So it is a little bit tricky to feel like, are we really making eye contact? Because I'm like, I'm looking at you, but I want to look at the camera because I want to look at you, but I also want to look at your eyes. So that's a little bit tricky to accomplish on Zoom, right? But we'll do our best there. So we'll listen carefully and make eye contact. We'll be kind in our responses, and then we'll ask for clarifying questions. I like how you said, Corey, that shows that somebody's paying attention because they're actually asking questions based off of what you said. So I love those rules of engagement. Lydia, are you able to put those in the chat? Yes, that would be amazing. Thank you. And then I'm just going to suggest two other ones because the way this particular conversation works, it's really beneficial. I love to, and I already did refer to it, but I'll say it again. I love to refer to Socratic conversations as exercise for your brain, because the first time I had a Socratic conversation, it really was obvious to me that I was accessing different parts of my brain because I had to take a stand on two equally not fun options. And it was really difficult for me. And I had to bring evidence of why I was choosing that one. And so I'm going to add take a stand. So if you don't mind, Lydia, adding that one, and then we'll just go with that. Okay. So we have, what'd you say? Did you get them all? Let's see.
Be kind, make eye contact, ask follow-up questions, take a stand.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Lydia.
Lucy, did you have anything? I know you're eating and you just took a bite. I love to do that to people. I'm just joking. My husband's a coach and he always, like, as soon as I take a bite of something, that's when he'll call on me to speak, and I'm like, come on now. Do you have anything, Lucy, that you want to add in terms of having a conversation?
Eye
I don't
contact? Oh,
think so. I mean, yeah, I think eye contact is really important to make sure that you can like tell that the other person's paying attention or more. Because I mean, sometimes I won't make eye contact with people and then they'll think I'm not listening to them. So that's the only thing.
okay, cool. I like it. So we're definitely going to focus on eye contact as best we can on Zoom today. Great work on the rules of engagement, ladies. Super cool. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, actually going against our first rule of engagement, but just for a moment, I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes. I want you to really imagine something. So imagine this. You've just been given the keys to design and build the house of your dreams. No limits, no budget, no rules, and you get to pick everything. You get to pick the colors of the walls, bright and bold or soft and cozy. You get to choose, do you want accent walls, wallpaper, no wallpaper? Maybe you want something hand painted. How many bedrooms does it have? Is there a guest room so you can fly your cousins in, or other friends can come and stay with you every once in a while? Or maybe there's even a secret hidden room behind a bookshelf. Big kitchen, do you like to cook? Cozy reading nooks. Maybe there's a pool in the backyard. So every detail is up to you. Floors, lights, all the things, even the doorknobs. Even if you like to pick out those cute little light switches, I do. Those are up to you, all of it. So what are some, you can open your eyes now. So what are some of the things that are really important in your dream house? Gianna.
I would say space and lots of pens for my horses and my longhorns and my chickens and my goats and like, all the stuff. But yeah.
So space, not just inside, but outside too?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a acreage for how many acres you want?
I guess 200. Let's go with 200.
Oh, love it. Go big or go home. What about you, Lucy?
Windows, lots of windows. And then Like I really want arched like hallway kind of doorways, and really pretty landscaping on the outside, like with hydrangeas and stuff like that. Um, and like the walls that kind of have like some kind of design or something on them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
what kind of walls do you like hand painted, or do you like more of like a wallpaper that has a pattern, or maybe
I
something
like
else?
hand painted and like stuff like they have like the whatever this is there on the
Wainscot.
walls. Yeah,
Wainscot.
yeah, that.
Very fun. That sounds beautiful. Corey.
The first thing I thought of it's not like in the house or the house. It was just beach. That's the first thing I thought of was I need my house to be next to the ocean because it's like my favorite place. And also just the views, like I've always pictured because I don't know if you've ever been like around the Alice Beach area in Florida, which is like on 30A, if you've ever heard of that. And it's like
Oh,
so like in a lot of their houses, they have this huge like arched window and like it takes up like basically the whole wall and then you can just see the ocean from it and it's like really pretty. But also I just need my interior design style is very much like French countryside type old. I don't know how to describe it, but that's
I
like
feel like that was a really good description. I'm picturing, yeah.
so yeah, something like that.
Sounds beautiful. Wow. What about you, Coach Witt or Lydia?
I'm definitely, I like to see the water from whatever house that I'm going to live in. So definitely a beach. Lots of windows. I love natural sunshine coming in and that I like plants everywhere.
Oh.
Um, and um, I really like a good modern, sleek look where it's just, yeah, very modern looking. Um, where the furniture looks uncomfortable, but it's really comfortable. Um, um, yeah, I don't want it to be very big because I don't want to clean a big house, but I want to have definitely guest room. And I like the idea of in the guest room that it has one of those beds, it's a Murphy bed that comes out of the wall so that I can pick it up and it's clear to have an office or whatever if we don't have guests there.
Love a Murphy bed.
No
Very
carpet.
no carpet anywhere.
No, carpet's gross. I'm sitting on carpet right now and I'm like, ugh.
It's nice when you want to like sprawl out on the ground, but
I agree.
when you pull your first carpet from a floor,
Oh
ooh,
God.
yeah.
Disgusting.
What about you, Lydia?
I really, really like South Tampa, where I live now. So that would be my number one on the bucket list. And then very similar to a lot of things y'all said, I really love the arches. I like really modern, sleek design, like walls, but with antique pieces throughout, like lots of decorated pieces, but a sleek environment for them to be in. Yeah, lots of windows. Feel like a mix between modern and old is my go-to. And definitely a yard for my gardening and my dog.
I also want a kitchen that looks like it's on a cooking show with all kind of light.
Yep.
Big gas Viking stove, double oven, like magnificent. I love to cook.
I'll add that to my list as well.
I feel like everybody wants it. Based on the smiles in the boxes, I feel like everybody's in for that. Big kitchens, such a fun place to meet and have guests over and host. Did you have another feature to add, Corey?
Yeah, so I just thought of because Coach Whitney mentioned a guest room, and that just got me thinking something I've always wanted for my future house was a hostess pantry, which is like it's this huge pantry with shelves just stacked with like candelabras and like pictures. I don't know, just random things for like having people over. And like, oh, I've always imagined just having all my family and friends over to my house and throwing dinner parties and stuff. So that's kind of a need.
So Corey, in our house, we bought this, it was a gigantic house. And when we bought it, it was like the crash of the stock market was like super down. So my parents got this house for really cheap. It's the only reason I think we bought the house. It had a butler's pantry in it. I had never heard of something like that in my life. But for most of my life, I lived in a house that had a butler's pantry. And I'm like, what the heck is this for? And now I understand because it's like you keep all your stuff that you want to entertain in. And I'm like, this is 100%. I want one of those too.
You ladies got me dreaming. This sounds awesome. Okay, so you've built your dream houses. There's lots of windows. Everybody has lots of windows, lots of space, yard, big, beautiful kitchens. We are going to be hosting kitchen shows and parties and all the things. So imagine you've been there for a while, right? It's still beautiful. Obviously, only if you take care of it. So think about this. You wake up late one morning and you have to get out of the house really fast. No time for your perfect morning routine. So you can only pick one thing to quickly take care of before you leave. You love this house, like you've designed every inch of it. And so of course you're going to care for it, right? So if you can only pick one thing to take care of that morning, you run the risk of this becoming a habit, right? What's the most important thing to take care of your house? What's that one thing that you're choosing? Is it making the bed? Is it washing the dishes? Sweeping the floors? Wiping down the counters? Or taking out the trash?
Are those the only options we get?
Those are the only options you get.
Okay.
There be none of the above.
All right, before we hear from you, let's just put up a number. I put the options in the chat. So just put whatever number you are choosing, just so we can kind of see where you guys all stand as a group. So make the bed. We got wash the dishes. Okay. We gotta wipe down the counters. Oh, I didn't even say that out loud, did I? Wipe down the counters. Oh, good. We have a mix. We have a good mix here. Okay. Corey, let's hear from you first. You are picking make the bed. Do tell why. That's most important.
So I'm on a call. Sorry. Okay. So like the first thing that popped up in my mind when you gave those options was just I would hope that I already did all of the above like the night before instead of so I wouldn't have to do all of it in the morning because that's something that I was taught to do like in my house now is make sure like the kitchen and everything is clean before we go to bed because my parents are really angry when we wake up and we have to do all that. So that's why I just picked to make the bed because that's what I have been doing.
Fair enough. I love how you provided evidence from your life. What about you, Gianna? Do you agree with, no, you disagree?
Yeah.
Agree. Okay, do tell.
I will do number two because my room's really messy, but my parents are like, I haven't heard anything from them. I mean, I say I'll do it, but it never gets done. But I would say number two, which is washing the dishes, because my parents are really like, because it's the main part of the house where they normally go, so they always know there's some dishes in the sink, and then if we leave them there, it smells, and it just because my brother does them every morning, and then I do them every night, so it's just kind of a really big habit. That's why I chose that.
So it sounds like the dishes really set the tone of how the family feels for the day. So you're going with dishes. Got it. Okay. Anybody want to disagree or agree with Corey or Gianna?
I agree with the washing of the dishes the night before. so that it just sets the tone for the start of the day. So I'm with Corey that that should have already been done. And
So then which one are you picking?
make the bed.
Make the bed. Okay.
I like make the bed because it's like it's the one successful thing, and I'm gonna call myself out because I can actually show y'all. This is organized and it makes me very happy. And I even put a plant here. I only put the plant here for my calls, but then I need to pick up my laundry. That should have been on the list.
How about you, Lucy?
I agree with doing the dishes the night before too. At my house, it doesn't always happen, but in my future house, it will happen. And it just like if you make the bed, it just feels nice to go in your room too. Like whenever I make my bed and then I go in it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited to sleep in this tonight, and it just makes my room feel better too.
Okay, so make the bed is definitely winning right now. You tipping the scale a little bit, Lydia, or which one you picking?
I'm gonna have to disagree. Before I knew that there was set options, I was gonna say clean the island. So I feel like when I walk into the kitchen and the island is covered in dishes and everything that the family has collected over the week, it just makes me want to run away. So that's like my number one thing for mental peace. If I walk in the kitchen, and even if all the dishes are inside of the sink, but the island is completely clean and wiped off, it makes me feel good.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you had to choose one from the list, which one are you going with?
It'd be wipe down the counters because in my head that's
Oh,
you have
that's
to wipe down the
that's
counters, then
got
there's
it.
nothing on the counter.
Yes. Okay. All right. So little more context, and that wasn't even the real overarching question of this conversation. So here we go. I'm a book lover, but I have very few of them here because we're traveling so much. But this is one of my favorites. It is Jabberwocky. So I'm just going to give you a little snippet of, well, it's not Jabberwocky. It's a book inside Jabberwocky, which is Alice in Wonderland. Anybody know the story? Yeah. Okay. So just a little summary. So in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, Alice tumbles into a strange world where nothing makes sense. Rules constantly changing, time doesn't work the same, and everyone seems to be telling her who she should be. At one point, the caterpillar looks at her and asks, "Who are you?" And Alice isn't quite sure how to answer. That's something many of us can probably relate to, especially on days where life feels rushed, messy, or upside down. But even in Wonderland, Alice starts to realize that the choices she makes, what to drink, what to eat, which path to follow, shape her journey. In the same way, how we care for ourselves, even in little ways, shapes who we're becoming, whether it's making your bed or taking a deep breath. Those choices matter. They're how we answer the question, who are you becoming today? So let's flip it. Your body, your health, is your very first home. And just like that dream house, it needs daily care to stay strong, healthy, and full of life. But life happens, right? Anybody ever experienced life happening and you're like, oh, I'm not really caring for myself the way I normally do? Yeah. Okay, so imagine this again. Different scenario, but you're waking up late again. You're rushing. You have a way less time to get ready for the super busy day ahead, and you can only focus on one thing before you head out. What's it going to be? Fitness, moving your body, food, feeding your body well, sleep, making sure you get in enough sleep and not rushing out of bed, or gratitude and maybe speaking kindly to yourself. So which daily discipline is most important for the overall health of your body? Is it fitness, food, sleep, or gratitude? So take a minute, think about it, and then just throw up a number when you have a second. I'm putting them in the chat. All right, Coach Witt says fitness. Anybody else? Are you putting up a 1, Corey, or is that your thinking face? You're picking 2? Food. Okay. What else? Fitness, food, sleep, or gratitude? What's most important?
I think everybody answered, huh?
Oh, I missed it. Did you put it in the chat?
Put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So we have lots of 2s. Okay. Cool. So tell us why you chose the one you did. You can just take the mic. You don't have to raise your hand.
I chose 2 just because I know personally, like ever since I was younger, and I'm pretty sure this happens for everyone, but if I don't have food, and I'm hungry, like my stomach starts hurting really bad, and then like I can't think. So I just know that if I don't feed myself properly, and then I just spend the day like really hungry and my stomach hurting, then I won't be able to think straight or get anything done. But it was tempting to just pick all of them because I think all of them are very important.
Okay.
Mhm.
But food is most important. Otherwise, you're distracted, and it sounds like all you can think about is the fact that you're hungry.
Yes.
Okay. Lucy, are you going to agree or disagree with Corey on that?
I agree. Like food just helps me feel better for the rest of the day. It can help give me energy and just then it'll just help for the rest of the day.
Okay. Gianna.
Food is a really big part of my daily routine because no one wants to see hangry Gianna. That's not a good thing. But yeah, I would agree with everyone else that went before me. It makes me feel better. It makes me focus. Like just having those that like the food in your system, at least something, it'll help especially. But yeah,
Okay.
no hangry.
No hungry Gianna. We don't want to see that. Okay. Go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down.
Oh, that's okay. No worries.
I'll go. I chose sleep because personally, I do require 8 to 9 hours a night to be a human that other people want to be around. And then also, I think I normally would have chosen food, but right now I'm doing a 36-hour fast and I feel really good. So that kind of swayed me away from it because I'm feeling like food in this season in a way that's very planned out, maybe sometimes isn't necessary. So I probably would have chosen food otherwise, but sleep is my answer today.
So it sounds like you've experienced not sleeping 8 to 10 hours and people have felt the wrath, or was it
Yeah,
just an internal
I
thing?
think everything in my life really changes if I don't get enough sleep consistently. So
Okay.
it's harder for me to feed my body well and to focus on healthy choices. Fitness is almost out of the picture if I'm not sleeping enough to have the energy. And then gratitude, if I'm really tired, gratitude doesn't make it in the picture either. So I feel like sleep is the one that the rest of them kind of depend on for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Coach Witt, you sticking with fitness?
Yeah, I think for me, with fitness, I can even do and get a solid workout in 15 minutes. And I feel like that is what kind of invigorates me. Each day I look at like my body is what like drives me in every area of my life. And I've gotten really consistent with that. And I think all the other things like for me, sleep is kind of touch and go with a season of life that I'm in. And I have a really solid routine around that, and food just kind of naturally falls in line with that. But I think for me, fitness is a non-negotiable because if I have certain times too, I know we're looking at it in a scenario of if that's quick only have the time to do it. I just know for myself that my day will just totally get away from me and it'll never happen. So I would definitely choose fitness first.
Okay. What's the one that's the least important that you would put at the bottom? That would be the last thing you would go to. What's the one you could live without the easiest?
I don't know about live without for me, but I think gratitude is not something I think about often because my natural disposition just like lends itself that way. So gratitude's not something I intentionally plan or focus on a lot, but I feel like I just naturally have a lot of it in my life without focusing on it.
Interesting. What do you think, Lucy?
I would probably also say gratitude. I do a gratitude journal every day. It's one that it's like you do it in the morning and at night, but I feel like it'd be easy to forget and to just not do it. So,
Okay. Are you going to agree, Gianna, with the choices that have been made so far, or you have a disagree?
I would do gratitude too, because I guess they're the same reasons everyone else said, but just kind of works out that way. It's not a normal part of my like routine. So just
Okay.
when it doesn't come up.
All right. What about you, Corey? What's at the bottom of your list?
I guess I would also say gratitude too, because I just feel like that's not something like what Lydia said. I don't really like plan it, but I already kind of am just very thankful for everything that I have, but I don't pay much attention to it, if that makes sense.
Okay. So gratitude is the most popular bottom of the lister. What about you, Coach Witt? Where are you at?
I kind of like changed my stance. At first I was like gratitude because all the other things are as important. But then I changed my answer to food because it's been a thing that I've struggled with the most is food and nutrition. Um, and it's the easiest thing to fall away. So I know because it's easy for it to fall away, it tells me by my action that it's the least important in my life. And I give gratitude every day inside of a journal. So I'm like, I think it's realistically, if you saw by my actions, you would say food.
Okay. I like that. I have a feeling that didn't change anybody's mind who chose food. But did that sway anybody? Is anybody like, oh, maybe food isn't the most important? No, still sticking with food. Okay. Okay. So I'm curious because gratitude is the most popular bottom of the lister. Where have you shown or what have you done that expresses or practices gratitude today? Lydia.
My family is very lovey-dovey in some senses, and every time someone leaves the house, we all hug. So I feel like that's our way. Like we don't verbally say it a lot, but anytime someone leaves, we just do a hug to, I guess that's how we like express that we're grateful for each other, and we walk the dog together every day. So that's like my form of gratitude for my family is just spending quality time together.
So did you get to experience that already today? Oh,
Yeah,
very
just
nice.
this morning. It's like a routine.
That's a lovely routine. Lucy.
mine's my gratitude journal. That's something I do every day.
Is that like a first thing in the morning kind of situation for you or?
Yeah, it's like I'll wake up and I'll do it, and then right before I go to bed, I'll do it again.
Oh, twice a day. Dang, I need to step up my game.
Right.
That's an interesting idea. Gianna.
I would say I was trying to change a tire, but the tire didn't fit the other tire. I was really confusing. But I had to put it back on the Subaru. And I feel like doing chores and helping around really shows gratitude for my parents, letting me live in their house and take all their money. And yeah, but I also worked out today, so that's good. I'm showing gratitude for myself. But yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting perspective, showing gratitude to yourself by working out. Very interesting. And did you say you changed a tire today?
Well, there's one Subaru. We have two Subarus.
Okay.
One tire has a hole in it. So I'm gonna take a tire from the one Subaru and put it on the other Subaru. But
That's the plan, or you already accomplished that?
well, the pattern of bolts on it doesn't match to the other tire. It's like not even a quarter of the inch off, and they changed it for some reason, whatever Subaru. So then I had to put the tire back on the other Subaru, and then my dad went and bought another tire. Well, we have a spare. He just doesn't want to use a spare, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's what happened.
I never would have that just as I was thinking of this conversation and planning for different follow-up questions, changing a tire was not at all on my radar for expressing gratitude. But it's definitely a skill that I want to learn. You're right. That is showing major appreciation and gratitude for your family.
One of our challenges inside of Apogee Young Women is the art of being a woman, and one of the things on the list is learning how to change a tire.
Yeah.
So
We need to bring
kudos
that
to
to you
Gianna.
too.
You need to make a video for us whenever you guys get the next tire, if it hasn't already happened, Gianna, you need to make a video for us because I'm like, that's amazing.
I agree.
Can you
Maybe a
share with us
how-to.
too? That's very cool. Very cool skill. Corey.
Today isn't, or I guess, the best example just because today my mom was out of the house all morning, and so it was just me and my brother and my sister home alone, and my brother was off doing his own thing, and my sister was just napping, so it was kind of just me. But I did feel grateful that my grandpa came over for like an hour to go get some yard work done in our backyard and change my sister's diaper for me before she went down for a nap. I was like, that's nice. And then he left, so I mean, that's my expression of gratitude for the day, I guess, so far.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to thank him before he left?
Yes, I said every time someone else changes my sister's diaper for me, I'm like, thank you.
Is that
'Cause,
generally your responsibility?
oh yeah, I don't know why. I it kind of always like I have four younger siblings, and my mom this once she taught me how to change my siblings' diapers, it was kind of like, all right, you can do that from now on. And I'm like, all right, cool, fun.
Yay, thanks.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Feeling like, just like the tire changing, I would not have thought of changing diapers as showing gratitude, but I do believe having changed lots of diapers in my life as a mother, I would feel like really appreciated if my daughter was changing diapers. So very cool.
And can we, like, Corey, when you said my sister was napping, I had just imagined like a teenage sister. I did not even imagine like a little
Yeah.
going straight to older sisters being lazy and she's napping.
Yeah.
Huh. That is really cool. All right. So anybody else want to chime in there before we move on to the next question? Okay. So what would you say is harder on the subject of gratitude still? Is it being kind to yourself or being kind to others?
Definitely. For me, that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
myself. I can be so kind to everybody else and so ugly to myself.
Oh.
Because I feel okay. Let me continue off that. I agree with Coach Witt because there's a saying, like the saying that, like the best, or how do I say this? Like the best, like what's the word? Best. I want to say criticizer. The best criticizer of you is yourself. Because
Hmm.
you're the one who sees you every day. You're the one who sees your flaws. And I feel like being kind to other people was more natural as, like, if we go way back, you had to make teams to live and survive and just, no food for you. Oh, wait, well, it's like, yeah, that's what yeah, it's
Hmm.
confusing.
Okay, I hear you. Yeah, you can be your biggest critic. I understand that. So it's easier for you to be kind to others. Hmm. Anybody want to agree or disagree with that? Corey.
Just to like switch it up a little, I don't know. Uh, I so I am incredibly, I would say, kind to other people. It's just I do have more of an issue like not saying it or expressing it. So like I'll have compliments, like I'll give compliments, but I won't tell them. So I'll just keep it in my mind. And my mom would always tell me like, "Oh, you need to like you should never hold a compliment in your brain and like just think it without telling them." But I do. So I don't know why. It's just I guess I'm just like shy or I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, I would say I'm very lucky to surround myself with people who like compliment me. So I feel like that should rub off on me, but I guess it hasn't. But so I've never had much of a problem of like not being that kind to myself just because my family's so great at like showing their love towards me. So that's not really my problem, but I do need to start expressing my kindness more rather than just kind of like thinking it.
What do you think could help you with that? Would it be, I don't know, you guys do daily disciplines, right? Through Apogee Young Women? Do you guys do your daily disciplines, gratitude and journaling? No. Oh,
So,
okay.
so no, and I have really been thinking about how I think these young women could jump on this because they're already doing some of these
That's
things.
what it sounds like.
Yeah, and they weren't, so the young men don't. So I was like, well, the young women, I'm like, okay, we're different. We can actually do this. I think
I
this would be
agree.
some practice for these young women.
That's exciting. Oh, I can't wait to hear how this journey progresses. So, Corey, what do you think could help you with that? Would it be maybe one of these ladies just checking in with you and like asking you, hey, like, who did you show, kindness to today? Like, what did you say out loud? And maybe just asking you a question, or could it be, developing a daily discipline of maybe, I know sometimes I have ideas in my mind, but I don't always get them fully fleshed out well until I write them out. So which one, if you had to choose between those two, would it be like an accountability partner, or would it be maybe writing these kinds of things out, or maybe something else that popped into your head?
I think writing it out would work for me.
Okay.
Especially just reminding myself because my love language, how I like receive love the best, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, but is words of affirmation. Because for my old school, we had to like take a test and figure it out. I don't know why, but we did. So apparently, how I feel love the most by those around me are compliments. So I feel like I should just like keep that in mind and then be like, because you know the quote that's like, treat others how you want to be treated. So I feel like I should just assume everyone else's love language is words of affirmation too. Then yeah, write things down.
I love that declaration. And maybe even, I wonder if, words of affirmation is something that is your love language because you love to receive it, but it sounds like you might love to give it too. So that's really cool. I love that reflection. Anybody else? Any other thoughts around what's harder, being kind to yourself or being kind to others?
I have a lukewarm answer, but I was gonna say that for me, I think it depends on what season in life I'm in and how much I'm looking at social media and comparing myself to others. I think naturally it's easier for me to be nice to myself and to be like confident and have like positive thoughts around about myself. But then once I'm surrounded by like even just watching TV or social media in general, it makes me compare myself more to others. And then again, to a habit of becoming more self-critical and judging myself more than, yeah, being nicer, or I guess meaner to myself than I would be to others, even though I think I'm pretty nice to others.
So it sounds like wherever your habits lie, like if you are on like your daily disciplines,
Yeah.
then it's easier for you to be more kind to yourself and others.
Yeah, I think pop culture, just in general, even like Hannah Montana, stuff like that, I feel like little things like that kind of can pollute the back of your brain and make you think things that you would have never even thought of before. Like someone will say like, "Oh my God, my armpit looks so weird in this." And I'm like, "Wow, I've never even thought about my armpit." But now I'm constantly thinking about how my armpit looks weird. Random things like that.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so I hear the wrestling match that's going on in your brain, but if you
Yep.
had to take a stand on which one is harder, just in general, which
Yeah,
one would it be?
I guess being nice to myself would be
Okay,
harder than other people.
okay. I am a big fan of all of these reflections of gratitude. What about you, Lucy? I feel like we didn't hear from you on this one yet. And you are the gratitude girl, right? You're double dipping with the gratitude. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know, where do you stand on this one?
I think it's like harder to be nice to myself for sure. Like I love complimenting people. Like I work at a coffee shop and I'll just see like people's nails and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, your nails are so cute," or something like that. But it's just a lot harder to compliment myself.
Why? Why do you think that is?
I don't know exactly like I guess I don't know. Sometimes I'll just notice stuff and I'm like, oh, I wish this was different. Oh, I wish I had this instead of this or something like that.
Hmm. Hmm. So you're a little critical of yourself. Okay. So what do you think could help with that? Do you ever gratitude
Oh, it was so good
a
too.
little?
Oh, there we are. You're
Oh,
back. Sorry.
oh,
We
was
lost
I?
you for a little while.
Oh,
We heard what would help with that, and then you froze.
oh. I was wondering if it would be helpful since you do a gratitude journal already. Do you ever like give gratitude for something that you did, like call yourself out in your own journal? Like, I'm proud of myself because I did this. Or, or maybe words of affirmation to yourself in a mirror. Which one do you think might help you be more kind to yourself?
There's actually a part in my journal where it's like daily affirmations, I am dot dot dot, and then you can put anything. So I do that and sometimes I'll just write sticky notes too and like tell myself like you're doing so good or something like that.
That's a great idea. Where do you keep the sticky notes? Is it somewhere where you see it often?
Yeah, like I have them sometimes on my vanity, so I'll see them every day when I get ready. Sometimes I'll just have them on my nightstand.
Wow. I love that.
So
Very
I'm thinking about like because I'm my worst critic. Um, I went into an ice cream shop this past weekend with my family, and the girl that was I did not get ice cream. I'm like I take a sample of ice cream, and that's plenty enough ice cream for me. Just PS. My family thinks that's the weirdest thing. She said, "Oh my gosh, your lashes are amazing." Now, instantly I said, thank you. And they need to be done so bad right now. I get my lashes done, PS. And they're like, I feel mangy, right? That's all of the thoughts that are playing out, but I outwardly said thank you to her and oh my gosh, they need to be done. Which totally like slapped her compliment, like I slapped it away. You know, it was that's how I felt when I walked out. And I even doubled down with the negativity to myself because when we sat down for my family to eat their ice cream, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe she complimented on my lashes right now. They are so like I am so mangy. I think that was the exact words I used. But that's the negative stuff inside of me. So what I'm going to do about that today, I'm going to make a video to Apogee. I'll make sure to post it to you guys too, about receiving compliments and not deflecting and reminding myself of the negative self-talk. Like someone was giving me a compliment, why couldn't I just accept that?
What if you could go back to that exact scenario? Well, like how would you respond instead?
I would have just said thank you.
Hmm.
And not it's like, oh, that's a nice shirt. Oh, thanks, I got it at Walmart. Do we need the second part or could we just say, oh, thanks?
It's a great question. That is a great question. So I know we're coming up on the hour, but I wanted to revisit the original overarching question. Like there was a lot of context before the big overarching question of the conversation. So that question was, which daily discipline is most important for the overall health of your body? So just curious if anybody changed their mind. I know that fitness was popular. Food was most popular. I know we had sleep in there too, but since we dove in and we had a lot of discussion around gratitude, I'm curious if gratitude maybe moved it up a bar at all, or if you changed your mind completely. So you sticking with food? I know Gianna, Lucy, Corey, you guys were food. Is food still most important for your overall health?
I feel like, yeah,
Okay.
probably. I feel like either it's either food, sleep, or gratitude. I can't decide anymore because I
So
feel like
I like
they're
what
all
you said
important.
there. It sounds like gratitude isn't at the bottom of the barrel anymore. Gratitude is moving its way on up. That's cool. So if you had to take a stand before we leave each other tonight, which one are you picking for the most important? That thing that you only can do one thing before you're off and run into the day. What's that one thing you're picking? No wrong answers here.
I'm still
Stoked.
gonna go with food.
Good. No, go, Gianna.
Well, I'm still gonna go with food, you know.
Okay.
I guess I'm pretty sure gratitude moved up my list though. It did.
It bumped up on your list?
Mhm.
Okay. What about you, Corey?
Can they all just be equally as important? And then we end the call and then we're like, bye. They're all important.
I love that
Um,
question. It's a
I don't-
great question.
I think it's still food for me. I don't know. It's just because like my stomach just really hurts if I don't have it. So I actually just won't be able to focus or do anything.
My stomach just grumbled as you said that. I feel you.
I missed lunch. I'm ready. It's 2 hours past lunchtime for me.
Don't get me started.
So you're sticking with fitness, Coach Witt?
Think I am because I chose fitness over food today. I mean, before this call, I went and worked out. I knew I was gonna not have time for lunch, so I chose fitness. It's the most important. I can eat after. That's what I always think. I'll just eat later.
What about you, Lydia?
I'm still asleep.
Sleep? Okay.
In the
So,
midst of this experiment, I'm feeling like it's sleep.
okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ladies, this was a super fun conversation, enlightening for me. And that is some of my favorite stuff. You guys brought thoughts to my head around these daily disciplines that I've never thought before. So thanks so much for having me. I want to be able to end the call on time because I want to be respectful of your time. But if you have any questions, I can hang on for a minute. Any questions about Socratic conversations or anything else around daily disciplines? I'm here for it.
I have a question. So I do a lot of Socratic style questions, but I don't ever give a multiple choice. Do you always give like a multiple choice in a Socratic? Because I always give like a question and then I want to hear what people have to say about that particular topic, but I never do give it can only be this, 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 or this.
I like that question. So, I always do a multiple choice.
Okay.
So I like for there to have to be the tension of taking a stand because I find that, the options are either equally great or equally horrible. And the first time that I participated in a Socratic conversation, I had to take a stand on whether I was a warm-hearted rescuer or a tough-minded persecutor. And it made me furious because I'm like, I have found great balance in being whatever I need to be in the moment. And that doesn't ever look like a warm-hearted rescuer or a tough-minded persecutor, but might take pieces of both. And so the challenge to take a stand on one of those made me bananas. And it made me fall in love with the idea of just using, questioning and multiple choices as kind of like fitness for my mind. Because literally before that, well, a bunch of things, but the one thing that comes to mind because I have this book in my hand, I love books. I've always loved books. I've always been if I'm in a town, I am stopping at the bookstore and I'll buy books, but they sit on my shelf all up until I started having Socratic conversations because I would like start reading about something and then I get really distracted and I'm like, I got what I needed from that and I would never finish a book. And so I really think a big part of it is that mental exercise has helped me really focus more. And so, yes, I do always, if I'm designing the conversation, I'm inserting at least one multiple choice question as the overarching, and then I'll do open-ended follow-ups. Yeah.
Love
Great
it. Anybody else have any questions about a Socratic style conversation? This has been awesome. Thanks, Britt.
It's been so fun to be with you ladies. I've loved it. And now that I've got to meet all you wonderful young ladies, I can't wait to get my daughter on this call. Since we've been traveling through Europe, it has not really been I think when you guys typically meet, it's like 11 or 12 here. So I wanted to wait until we're back in America when she can actually join live, but I'm excited she'll be joining you wonderful, interesting young ladies. I'm
For
so
the
excited
summer,
to get to know you. What'd you say,
for the
Lydia?
summer, for the summer, we were planning on doing our calls at 2 p.m. So if this
Oh,
is a good time for her, she could hop in for the summer, and then won't y'all be back for the fall?
yes, yes. We'll be back next month we'll be back. So, all right, I will reach out to
Reach out
you.
to me and I'll add her manually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we usually have like usually 12 to 13 people that show up at our normal time. It is summertime, so I know people are traveling and
Sure.
we've had a couple of different times and I think people kind of just get into a rhythm of, oh, it's Tuesday at this. So and I was excited because I thought we had another girl, she can never make the time that we normally do. So we changed it and she hasn't been here yet either. So maybe Lydia, you could it's Sarah Peavy House, if you could
Yeah,
reach
reach out.
directly to her. And just a reminder that we're meeting at a different time so she can attend this summer if she's up for it. So But
And-
Britt, thank you so much for being here and just sharing this with us. I've heard a lot of rumors around Apogee that you're the best at Socratic. Yeah, it's Nola, not Sarah's her mom, right? Sorry. But a lot of rumors about how amazing you were at this, and I'm glad that I got to experience it firsthand.
Thank you for having me. And thanks for participating, ladies. This was so much fun. I'm totally inspired by you.
All right.
Night, ladies.
Thank you.
Nice.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank
Ladies,
you.
you.
make sure to drop your biggest takeaways, ladies, in our group so we can hear what you got from this, okay? All right, see ya.